Soshi Sairai no I. The ancestral master's intention in coming from the west. By Eihei Dogen. From Shobogenzo, the treasury of the true Dharma I. Great Master Shuto of Kyogenji Temple, who succeeded Dai and whose monk's name was Chikan, addresses the assembly. A person has gone up a tree on 1,000-foot precipice. In her mouth she is biting a branch of the tree. Her feet will not step onto the tree, and her hands will not pull her onto the branch. Under the tree, suddenly there appears another person who asks, "What was the ancestral master's intention in coming from the west?" Just at that moment, if she opens her mouth to answer, she loses body and life. And if she does not answer, she goes against what the other is asking. Now say, just at such a moment, what are you able to do? Then a chariot show of Koto Mountain steps out from the assembly and says, "I do not ask about when she has gone up the tree. Before she goes up a tree, please, Master, say, what is the situation then?" The Master bursts into loud laughter. The present story has appeared in many commentaries and discussions of the ancients, but the individuals who have expressed its truth are few. For the most part, it seems that people have been completely dumbfounded. Nevertheless, if we consider the story by utilizing not thinking, and by utilizing non-thinking effort on one round cushion with old Master Kyogen will naturally be present. Once we are already sitting in the mountain still state, upon the same round cushion as old Kyogen, we will be able to understand this story in detail, even before Kyogen opens his mouth. Not only will we steal old Kyogen's eyes and glimpse the story, drawing out Shakyamuni Buddha's right Dharma I treasury, we will be able instantly to see through it. A person has gone up a tree on 1,000-foot precipice. We should quietly investigate these words. What is a person? We should not say that what is not an outdoor pillar is a piece of timber. We should not lose sight of the fact that even a Buddha's face and a patriarch's face breaking into a smile are the meeting of a self and another. The present place where a person goes up a tree is beyond the whole earth, and beyond the top of 100-foot pole. It is just 1,000-foot precipice. If there is dropping off, it happens in the concrete reality of 1,000-foot precipice. We experience times of dropping and times of going up. The story says that the person in the concrete reality of 1,000-foot precipice goes up a tree. Remember that she has experienced a time of going up. That being so, it is 1,000 feet up, and it is 1,000 feet down. It is 1,000 feet left, and it is 1,000 feet right. This place is 1,000 feet. That place is 1,000 feet. A real person is 1,000 feet. Going up a tree is 1,000 feet. The foregoing 1,000 feet may be like this. Now, let us ask, how long is 1,000 feet? We can say that it is as long as the eternal mirror, as long as the brazier, and as long as a tombstone. The mouth is biting a branch of the tree. What is the mouth? Even though we do not know the total extent of the mouth, or the whole of the mouth itself, we may, for the present, know the location of the mouth by gradually moving along the branch of the tree, searching the branch and picking away leaves. It may be, for the present, that by gripping the branch of a tree, the mouth has been formed. Thus, the whole mouth is the branch, the whole branch is the mouth, the thoroughly realized body is the mouth, and the thoroughly realized mouth is the body. The tree steps upon the tree itself, and so the story says, the feet will not step onto the tree. It is like the feet stepping on the feet themselves. The branch pulls itself onto the branch, and so the story says, the hands will not pull her onto the branch. It is like the hands pulling themselves onto the hands. At the same time, the heels can still take forward steps and backward steps, and the hands can still make a fist and open a fist. Now, people, I and others, are prone to think, she is hanging in space. But how could hanging in space be better than biting the branch? Under the tree, suddenly there appears a person who asks, what was the ancestral master's intention in coming from the west? This, under the tree, suddenly there appears a person, seems to suggest that there are human beings inside the tree, as if it might be a man-tree. A human being suddenly appearing under a human being and asking is just such a state of unity. In that state, the tree is asking the tree. The human being is asking the human being. The whole tree is asking a question, and the whole of the ancestral master's intention in coming from the West is asking the ancestral master's intention in coming from the West. The questioner, in asking, is also biting the branch of the tree. Unless the mouth is biting the branch, there can be no asking, no voice that fills the mouth, and no mouth full of speech. When we ask about the ancestral master's intention in coming from the West, we ask by biting onto the ancestral master's intention in coming from the West. If she opens her mouth to answer the other, she loses body and life. We should familiarize ourselves with the present words. If she opens her mouth to answer the other, they suggest the possibility of answering the other without opening the mouth. In such an instant, she might not lose body and life. Even if there is a choice between opening the mouth and not opening the mouth, it cannot hinder the working of a mouth biting the branch of a tree. Opening and closing are not necessarily the whole of a mouth, but in a mouth there are both opening and closing. Thus, biting the branch is the everyday condition of a whole mouth, and it is impossible for opening and closing to hinder the working of a mouth. Does opening the mouth to answer the other mean disclosing the branch of the tree and answering the other? Or does it mean disclosing the ancestral master's intention in coming from the West and answering the other? Unless we disclose the ancestral master's intention in coming from the West in answering others, we do not answer the ancestral master's intention in coming from the West. Not to have answered others is to be holding on to life with the whole body. It cannot be called losing body and life. At the same time, if we have lost body and life already, to answer others is impossible. Nevertheless, Kyogen's mind does not shrink from answering others. It may be that his state is just having lost body and life. Remember, when we have not yet answered others, we are preserving body and life. When suddenly we answer others, we turn around the body and invigorate life. In conclusion, the mouth of each person being full is the state of truth, in which state we should answer each other, should answer ourselves, should ask each other, and should ask ourselves. This is the mouth biting the truth. The mouth biting the truth is called the mouth biting the branch. When this state answers others, over the mouth it further opens a mouth. when it does not answer others, even if it goes against what others are asking. It does not go against its own asking. So remember, the Buddhist patriarchs who have answered the ancestral master's intention in coming from the West are all experiencing the moment of being up a tree and biting in the mouth the branch of the tree, and they are continuing to answer. The Buddhist patriarchs who have asked the ancestral master's intention in coming from the West are all experiencing the moment of being up a tree and biting in the mouth the branch of a tree, and they are continuing to ask. Master Juken of Secho, the Zen master Myokaku, says, "To say something up a tree is easy. To say something under a tree is difficult. This old monk will climb up the tree. Bring a question." In response to the present, bring a question. Even if you bring one with all your effort, the question will come too late. I am afraid that you will be asking after the answer. I ask venerable old drills everywhere, past and present. Is Kyogen's loud laughter saying something up a tree, or saying something under a tree? Is it answering the ancestral master's intention in coming from the West, or is it not answering the ancestral master's intention in coming from the West? See if you can say something. Preached while deep in the mountains of Etsu-U, on the 4th day of the 2nd lunar month, in the 2nd year of Kangen.